Hey, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to Open Up Forum. And our brother Sean is not here today. He has some business to take care of, but we're here today, and we have Brother Rob with us and Brother Matt with us. And of course, you know, I'm Ronald. So in the spirit of Sean, while he's absent today, I like to open up like Sean would open up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Open Up Forum, where we talk about anything and everything and give you a godly perspective on it. So this is Black History Month. And one of the things that we have had to deal with is the whole history of Black history. Some brothers and sisters in this country are upset still today because of the term of Black history. They feel as though today it's inappropriate in today's time. It's too inclusive because of the color of the skin. Some people say, no, it fits just fine. Some people say we need to separate African American blacks from all other blacks, and that's why they're kind of upset about it. So they want to call it African American history. How do you feel about that?
Explain what you're talking about. Are you saying like as far as like Jamaicans and Brazilians and stuff like that?
Some African American brothers and sisters who feel as though we need to separate that because too many people who are coming in from those countries, Jamaica, coming in from parts of Africa, they feel as though that they're more superior. They're better than we are. Some of them do.
Of course they do.
And so African Americans,
because that's what they taught before they get here. So
yeah, I can understand that. And African Americans are feeling like, maybe Black history is including them too much or extending to them too much. So they want to say, let's cut that and make it African American history so we're specific about it. How do you feel about that? What's your thoughts on that?
Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest, right? As honest as I can. Like, go to Jamaica, right? Trinidad, most of these places, right? The darker people in those regions really are the people who have more culture than anybody else who comes there. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Except maybe not the Chinese. I'm sure Chinese have a culture, but like as far as like I wouldn't know what to say. Like if you asked me what was the culture of the white man in America, or what was the culture of a Jew in America, I probably wouldn't know what to tell you. But like as far as like everything we do, like they take it from us. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time when they take it from us, they make more money off it than we do.
They know how to package and rebrand it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
But the thing is, okay, yes, there is a difference between African Americans and Jamaicans, right? If they're able to come here, they're Jamaican Americans or whatever, wherever you may be from on the planet, right? Yes, we are different. Jamaicans are different than Africans. You understand what I'm saying? You can break. Listen. People from Ghana are different than the people from Nigeria.
True.
You understand what I'm saying?
True.
So yes, I do understand how you want to, separate like that. But the thing is, when you talk about like it as being a race, then I get confused.
I understand what you're saying.
As a race, as a race, would all of us be the same, or would some of us, you understand what I'm trying to say?
I got
like say like Latinos, right? Now they lump them into a what do you call a race, a group, right?
That's right.
So now they're Latino, but to me, it seems like the only thing it does is separate people. You know what I'm saying? It separates people.
You're alienating others, cutting them off.
Right. But I mean, like, I think like everybody's culture should be respected. But you gotta admit, when it comes to us and here in America, like, I mean, whatever we do is just like, I mean, I went way back the last time. Tap dancing, break dancing. You understand what I'm saying? Double Dutch. You understand? You understand?
Whatever we do, whatever we touch, we make magic about it. We make it great.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't, and they can't mimic it. What they can do is as much as they can, to try to be like us, but if you ain't got soul, you can't do what we do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You need soul, baby. That's the whole deal.
And
they say we mad at them, but we're not mad at them.
no, we're not.
They mad at us.
In our understanding of what Black history is, we've always respected the Jamaicans, the Nigerians,
Sure.
the people that's coming from Ghana,
Sure.
the Ghanaians, and,
Sure.
and the Trinidadians and Tobaggans. We've always respected the West Indians.
But
We've
they
always
do think they're
respected
smarter than us.
the
though.
Haitians. We've always respected them
Mhm.
because we know that they came into America at a period of time when there was turmoil and they were treated in like such manner as we were. I don't disagree with the idea of making it African American history.
Mhm.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I really don't I'm just talking about for myself. It's just me. I really don't have a problem with it being called Black history. I don't.
Mhm.
Because Marcus Garvey was not African American. You get what I'm saying?
Right. He was from Jamaica, I believe.
Right. So
Mhm.
so we have quite a few African ancestral
Mhm.
people who came to America and contributed collectively to our struggle. So
But can I just break it for 1 second?
go ahead.
Marcus Garvey was the one with the Pan-African, the whole Pan.
He was a part of that.
thing,
Yes.
right?
He was a part of that.
He believed that every Black person on wherever you are,
Mhm.
that we're related to Africa. Isn't that what it was
Right.
about? And we should go back to Africa or whatever like that, or have our own nation, have our
That
own
was the
nation
key.
of Black folks. Right.
Right.
But
That's where we got the red, black, and
you know
green
why
flag
that,
from.
you know why that would never happen? Because just like in Tulsa,
Mhm.
Oklahoma, right? The Black Wall Street thing.
Mhm.
They said that whole thing happened because a white man was doing some type of work in a Black man's house, and he had a piano, like a piano, right? And this white man said, "Why don't I have a piano?" Right? And from what I understand, that jealousy
Mhm.
led to what you saw happen. Because if you ever, and I apologize if this sounds racist or anything like that, but I mean this from the heart. If you ever see how poor white people live,
Mhm.
we can't. I don't think we could live like them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Listen. First of all, I think there should be no poverty in America,
Mhm.
right? I don't think there should be any poverty in America,
Mhm.
right? But I also don't think that the Black man is the lowest form of human being in America. I'll just say. I won't even say
That's a
across the
fact.
board. I'm talking about where we are right now.
That's a fact.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
But that's one of the stereotypes that
Right.
developed out of our struggle.
Mhm.
We were bombarded with stereotypes,
Mhm.
negative stereotypes.
Yeah.
And
And
we-
you know it wasn't true.
we have a history that's rich, goes way back, even before the colonials even got here. We got a history that's rich, that goes way before any other ethnic group even began sailing on ships. We got a history that's very rich. And so for me, Black history, I celebrate all of the cultures because it's all about the struggle. Because every ethnic group that's associated with being Black has been tagged with those negative stereotypes, especially those from Africa.
Mhm.
Now, Africa itself, and this was prophesied, and there's a prophecy on America, there's a prophecy on Africa, and I thank God for understanding these things. And first of all, putting me in a position where I can know them, right? Because you got to be in the circles where people are talking about these things to really hear them, because you're not really going to find them on the internet. So here's the thing. Africa, one of the prophecies on Africa is that it's going to come a point in time in the history of man, in the existence of man, where Africa, which is a continent, not a
Mhm.
nation,
Right.
will become like America.
And that's important that you said that.
Will become like America and become a nation.
Mhm.
Think about that.
Mhm.
Let that sink in for 1 minute.
No, it doesn't have to sink in.
Africa becoming a nation
But you know they've been trying to do that forever.
And they're working on that now.
You know they've been trying to do that forever.
Right.
That's why Patrice Lumumba and some of those people were
trying to
killed
come
over there in
together.
Africa. And I personally believe, because Malcolm X, not only did he travel to Africa and was he dealing with those people in the Pan-African situation, but they gave him a name. I forget what it was, but they gave him an African name. You know what I'm saying? It meant the son has come home or something like that. But I can't remember what the name was.
Here's the thing that's crazy. Not all African people hate African Americans.
No, not all of them.
Some of them love African.
Some of them do, yes.
And when
just like Jamaicans and everything else.
Just like Jamaicans, Nigerians, well, Nigerians are Africans, just like Jamaicans and Trinidadians and West Indians. It doesn't matter if you're connecting with them, you're connecting with them because they recognize the history too. You see, so they gravitate toward that oneness. They gravitate to that unity. They gravitate to that. And that's why I say I don't really see anything wrong with it being called Black History, but some people in the country do. Some brothers and sisters have a problem, and they feel as though too many people have latched on to our history. And I think for those who have a problem with it, this is just my understanding from talking to a brother who had an issue with it. He said to me that they look down on us. So don't try to latch on to our history while looking down on us. And I agree with him on that. I do agree with him on that, because never forget that if it wasn't for us, more than half of the laws that you have in this country right now for immigration would not exist. Do you understand what I'm saying? What we're seeing take place right now in America with the immigrants right now, just about everybody African American in this country can sit back and say, history book shows we went through that. We went through that. Look what they're doing. The Mexicans, they started out with the Mexicans first, right? And then they went and branched out to everybody else. They got to the point where if you look Hispanic, right, they were pulling you over. They were racially profiling. History. We can talk about that. Stop and frisk. Stop and frisk, right? Driving while black, right? We can point to all of these things because historically we have that experience. We went through that before they're going through it now, but we went through that first. You see what I'm saying? So for us, when people say that they look down on us, I don't think that that's the case for every ethnic group. I don't think every Hispanic looks down on black people. I don't agree with that. I don't think that, but some of them do. We know that's a fact. Some of them do. We know that's a fact.
Well, like we were saying already.
Okay, I just want to make it clear that if you're in that group of people where you're a foreigner yourself coming from another country into America and you have these rights, understand that we're not beneath anybody. We're, like you said, the black man is not the lowest on the totem pole in America at all. We're not the lowest or the basest creature ever. So if you're coming into this country and you have some money, you're starting a business, you're prospering, understand this. None of what you're doing would have been possible if it wasn't for our struggle. Always keep that in the front of your mind, the back of your mind, on the bottom of your mind, the top of your mind, and on the sides of your mind. Let that resonate with you. And don't disrespect black people. No matter what you see going on with our culture, where we have the negative side, because that's one of the things that the media loves to show. The media loves to show our negative sides. And we ourselves are guilty of promoting that. We got to stop promoting that. We got to stop embracing these things that are wrong and trying to make them hip and popular and cool. It's not hip, it's not popular, it's not cool. It's wrong. So when you see us being promoted from the negative perspective, that's not all African American people. It's not all black Americans that are out there pimping, prostituting, gang banging, selling drugs. Everybody's not involved in crime. Everybody black is not a criminal.
Right.
Understand that. We just are part of a system, and some people are lost in the system.
There you go.
You know, some people are lost in the system. So we're talking about the Black agenda, right? Because that was Black History Month, and it started out in Negro Week. We know it started out in Negro Week, and then it came from there, and it blossomed. But guess what? Guess what else is happening in the month of February?
What's that?
President's Day.
Right.
How does President's Day fall in line with Black American history? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, there's a tie-in there that's worth talking about, which is the president that made Negro Week an issue.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make that a national holiday.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make that a national holiday, and it transferred over from Negro Week to Black History Month, and it fell in the month of February. So the significance of that is because of the Proclamation of Emancipation. We all understand that. We all know that. But moving forward, the Black agenda wants to capitalize on our political power. We've always had politics and an importance of politics in this country. There's nothing that has happened in this country, worth happening in this country, for the issue and cause of freedom where a Black person was not involved. Think about that. Think about that for a minute. Think about that.
Okay.
All the way back to the Revolution, American Revolution. Think about that. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. How many Black people were fighting in wars without really fighting in the war? Think about that. We were behind the scenes. They had Black spies, right? Giving information to the North and the South in the Civil War, right? In the American Revolution, we had people that was there fighting. Well, actually, Black people did fight in the American Revolution. Some of them were forced to, some of them weren't.
Well, the first person that died in the Revolutionary War was a Black man.
Crispus Attucks, right? But think about
I've
that.
heard bad things about that, but anyway.
Yeah, because they turned out to make him a person creating mayhem. But that was.
I wanted to tell you what I had read, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I read Carter G. Woodson, the one who was the first guy to, put the
Negro Week,
Negro History Week, right? He did that because he said that Frederick Douglass and I think it was Lincoln were born in February.
Oh, nice.
But what I asked, because I read the book on Frederick Douglass,
right?
And Frederick Douglass said that he doesn't even know when his birthday was. He said he don't know any slaves who know when their birthday was. Okay. When their birthday was. So that's the only problem that I have with that, saying that Frederick Douglass was born in February. Because I read in the book that he doesn't really know. I mean, maybe they could have put, I don't know. But anyway, I heard that he said because Abraham Lincoln, which got credited for freeing the slaves, which he didn't really want to do in the first place. But anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Frederick Douglass, and here's the thing, a lot of slaves, their births were documented. Their births were written down.
Some of them was in the Bible, some of them were on a tree. It didn't always make it down to the city, municipal building. But
the main reason that a lot of slaves didn't know their family history, a lot of slaves couldn't even spell their own name, was because it was forbidden to read and write.
Sure.
And they did things like, if you were caught reading, they did things like they would mutilate you. They would mutilate you. They would, cut off a pinky or something, or, they would scar your tongue or something. If you were caught reading and writing, they would break your hands. They mutilated slaves for doing that. And I always asked the question when I looked at that in history, what was the purpose for that? And it always came to mind, as it was revealed later on, that this was the attitude because not everybody that was Anglo-American was able at that time were able to read themselves.
No, you're right. You're 100% right about that. A lot of them weren't educated either.
They didn't want African Americans to be able to do something that Anglican Americans could not do.
because they probably knew if we did it, we'd be better.
This goes back to the statement you made earlier about the black person having something better than the white person.
Mm-hmm.
That was the sentiment
Mm-hmm.
that ran heavy throughout the Ku Klux Klan's party.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that they felt they were owed. They were owed that position that nobody who was not white had to have anything or should have anything better than them.
Right.
So you talked about the state of poor white people in America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number one, we've always had poor white people in America.
Sure.
That's a fact.
And we also had white slaves in America at one time.
That's a fact. So we've always had this condition in white America where poverty was a reality.
Mm-hmm.
However, in Black America, poverty became a reality.
Mm-hmm.
You get the difference? It became a reality because when they brought certain Africans over here and put them in chains, I'm talking about the ones that they brought over from chains, and when they freed them, they were still able to manage living even in the state and condition that they were in better than those free white people who were here and never slaved.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
So when you have
it makes a lot of sense.
when you have that kind of clear comparison, that's obvious where one group is being more successful than the other, it's going to make somebody mad.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make somebody mad. And a lot of white people were getting mad because they couldn't understand how Black people were surviving.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they started building these codes and making these codes and building these to try to make sure that poor white Americans were better off than poor Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
The slaves had it bad.
Yeah.
They had it bad.
Yeah.
But after slavery, they started picking up and putting their lives together.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can talk about Black history all year long,
Mm-hmm.
every day, every month, all year long for the rest of our lives. There's so much that we have accomplished, and we're still accomplishing history today. We're still making history right now today.
Fact.
We're making history right now today.
Sure.
Political power is what the Black agenda is about now.
Mm-hmm.
Political power is about the Black agenda now. Well, like I said, we've always had people involved in politics,
Mm-hmm.
going all the way back to the founding of the country. We've always been included in it while being excluded from it. And case in point of that is George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington was a slave owner. A lot of the quote unquote founding fathers were slave owners,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what do you think about this fact? George Washington, a slave owner, had the opportunity to change the entire culture of America at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and the trajectory of history at that time by not passing the Fugitive Slave Law Act. Rather than passing that, he could have freed the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
He had the opportunity to do that. What's your thoughts on that? But he didn't. But he said later on in his journal, his own personal journal, he said he wishes that one day the Negro will attain freedom on the same level as their counterparts, which was white Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But he had the opportunity to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts on that?
But when you ask me what's my thoughts on that,
Yeah.
I mean,
how do you hearing that? How does that make you feel? What do you think?
it speaks for itself. What you just said. I mean, he's a slave owner.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you think he's going to pass something that goes against him when he knows how listen, slavery had to make white people a whole lot of money. It had to.
It did.
Right?
It did.
So I'm saying, do you think they get rid of the Black people? There's no more Black people. Now you got to do that land. And some of them, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to keep it real. Some of these, the slave owners, some of them probably didn't know how to farm.
Yeah,
You know?
That's true. That's true.
But see, but
That's
like
true.
a lot of Black people, like farming, we can farm. You understand what I'm saying? Grow all our stuff, raise people, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't know if they had all that knowledge when they first got here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you were to free the slaves, that their money still would be right. So of course George Washington is going to say no. I can understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It would be against his best interest.
I get you.
You understand? But yeah, as a man, with any type of conscience, yeah, of course. If I had the chance to do that, of course.
Right.
Let's just say white people were slaves right now. If I had the chance to free them, would I do it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
See, that's my point.
Because I don't own slaves, so
that's where I'm at with that. Even if I was George Washington and I was in the shoes and I really felt like he felt, man, listen, you get to a point in your life where you realize right is right and wrong is wrong. And you got to understand that you're going to get pushed back for some things. And so George Washington, for me, he cowered, man. He chickened out on that. He cowered.
Are you forgetting? Are you forgetting?
I'm not forgetting the time.
No. Are you forgetting what this country is about?
I'm not forgetting that either.
Well, what am I talking about?
You're talking about the white supremacy. You're talking about racism.
It's all about money. That's what I'm talking about.
That's at the heart of that. That's at the heart of that.
Is about money. Period.
But here's the thing.
Period. We're a capitalist society.
Here's the main issue.
And we have the system that's set up.
Hear me out.
For that.
If Washington would have freed the slaves, or at least passed a bill that would have eased the conditions or improved the conditions, or maybe set some of them free, maybe put an age limit up there. Well, you from this age to this age, you're free.
Okay.
Or put a time limit up there. Okay, we're gonna have slavery for the next 10 years or something like that. After 10 years, and then you can start working on a plan to integrate them into the society of America. He could have did all of that. Any one of those things he could have did. But instead he said, well, it's my desire that one day the Negro would. No, you had opportunity. And he was counseled. He was counseled to not pass the Fugitive Slave Act, because what was going to happen, the people who were abolitionists that was around him, that was in his ear, that was telling him that if you pass this act, this is what corrupt people are going to do. They're going to start enslaving free black people.
Which they did that too?
Yeah,
they did that.
That's exactly what happened. They're going to start re-enslaving people who were enslaved and set free. So you had people who were slaves and they were freed, now being recaptured and sold back into slavery. And you had people who were free, right?
Getting kidnapped
And sold into slavery.
Yes.
So he had an opportunity to put an end to that and not even let it start in the first place. We've always had criminals in this country, because you talked about capitalism in this country being about money. At the heart of the issue of capitalism in this country is color. Right? Now, in the beginning, that wasn't always the issue. Let's tell the truth about the history of America. First and foremost, racism is a construct based on a concept. Everything you see comes from a concept. Everything that exists comes from an idea. You don't build a house without having an idea, right? You don't build a car without having an idea, right? You don't create a theory without having an idea. You have to have a basis for everything. So, being that racism is a construct that comes from a concept, it has to have certain foundational principles from which it builds upon, right? So, in the beginning of America, racism didn't exist. We know that, right? What did exist was classism. Classism existed. America was not founded on an authoritarian rule, which this administration is trying to implement now. We never had that. We've never in this country had that. But what we have had were the rich being in power and authority and ruling over those who weren't. We've always had that. And for them, let me tell you how much money was important in America, like you talked about. It was a point in American history where the people who worked the land couldn't afford to pay for the land that they were working to the person they were working for on the land.
Mhm.
So what they were doing was they would tax them.
Mhm.
Right? Now watch this. It got to a point where greed was so heavy in this country. This you can't believe this, but look it up. It's there. It's documented. You know what? The people bringing in money to the people that are owning that they're working for.
Mhm.
They're bringing in money, and it got to the point where they got so greedy that they said, "I can't pay you back in money anymore." You know what they paid them back in? Liquor, alcohol. Check that out, man. Check that out. Alcohol. Now I'm sitting here and I'm reading this. I'm looking at this, and I'm saying to myself, who in their right mind will allow that to happen? And then I started thinking about it. I said, oh, you know what? This is when they're starting to write the Constitution and putting the amendments together.
Kind of
Because
deep when you think about
when you get to the point where you're that greedy,
we still are there. Think about it.
Yeah.
We still are there. Okay. All right.
The Black agenda.
All right. I just want to say
Go
this,
ahead, say it.
if I can. Right. I just want to say this. I was looking at a video on YouTube, and they were showing the poorest area, supposedly
in America.
Okay. Right, on YouTube. Right. You know, all these guys have machine guns and weapons and all that. It's the poorest freaking. It's the poorest country.
What are they
I mean, it's the poorest part of the country. Where did you get these guns? Yeah. And how did you afford them? If it's so, yo, listen. Like, it opened my mind up to understand that this stuff is not being brought to our neighborhoods by us.
No, okay.
This stuff is being brought to our neighborhoods by people who don't like us. People who want us to kill each other and to kill yourself. Because when you're taking drugs, you're killing yourself. Right. When you buy a weapon, you're buying that weapon to kill someone.
Right. Not to protect your property.
Right. You did not shoot that man because you wanted to shoot that man. You shot that man because you had a freaking gun and a situation came about. And you had a gun, so you shot him. But if you didn't have the gun, you wouldn't have shot him. You might have had a fight, maybe broke a nail or something like that, but probably he would be alive and you wouldn't be in prison.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? See, it's all
connected.
All
yeah.
connected.
Yeah,
it's all the same thing.
Now you said we're still there today.
All the same thing.
I hear you, and I agree. We have a lot of things. I watch a few videos, and in those videos, they show you the worst cities to live in. In different states. I like to watch those videos. And I noticed that there's a common thread between all of the cities that's terrible and not doing well. And the most common thread is there's no jobs. There's no jobs really in those cities. There's really no jobs in those cities. So, you know me, I'm a thinker. I'm like this. Living in New Jersey, and we see this every single day. We see license plates from New York. We see license plates from Pennsylvania every single day. Living in New Jersey, we see people that work in Pennsylvania but live in New Jersey. Work in New York but live in New Jersey. We see that every single day. So in those cities where they say there's no jobs, how come you can't live in those cities and work in another? You get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
We're seeing this. So my question is, if there's no jobs there, the land is really, really cheap. You know, houses are cheap. The median, what do you call the meridian average is really, really low. We got so many people talking about immigration this and immigration that. Do you know how much room and space we have in this country? This country can fit everybody in it. They can fit everybody in.
They got some land that ain't even been worked yet. You know, all across
America. All across the country.
Sure.
And in the cities that are now being,
it's land in Jersey that ain't been worked.
Exactly.
Down by Freehold and all that down
There's
there.
a lot of land that they're building up right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of these cities that they say there's no jobs, there's already housing structure, there's already schooling system, there's already job structures there, factories, building factories, factory buildings, and everything like that. You have the opportunity to go down there and purchase those things. We're seeing black celebrities doing that right now.
But that's a good thing.
So
That's good.
So what's
That's
happening
good to
right
hear.
now in the Black American is that if a lot of people aren't paying attention, let me help you understand this. You're starting to see more black people getting involved with politics. You're seeing more black people running for offices. You're starting to see that now because the black agenda is starting to tap into those very areas where they can bring life to those cities. You
Mhm.
hear what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it's definitely a possibility. It's not just a possibility, it's a reality that is going to happen because those cities that was once thriving, they were once thriving because the rich were there.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And then there was a collapse because the rich said, well, this group of people is coming in, they moving in, and we don't want them here. So we're going to take our money and we're going to take our business and we're going to go.
Mhm.
Now you got black celebrities moving back into those areas, starting up businesses,
That's beautiful.
starting to get it going.
That's beautiful.
Right? Now, here's my concern. How many people are going to realize that and take advantage of that?
Mhm.
If you want to get your life together and move into an area, you ain't got nothing now. You living in public housing right now. You getting government assistance to live right now in housing. Why not go ahead and move to one of those cities where the opportunity is presenting itself?
Mhm.
It's a big ask. It is. It's definitely a big move, but that's where you put your faith in Christ in. That's where you put your faith in God, and you move in there because you know that He's going to make a way for you. And look, if they're giving you an incentive to go, weigh your options. Look at where you are. If you feel as though you're better off where you are right now, then stay here by all means. I ain't not telling you what to do, but if you realize that you're not going to be better than you are right now, you're probably going to be better there. Move. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think that would be the smart thing to do. The black
You
agenda.
forgetting about
I just want to say this
system.
one part. The black agenda is taking a step forward that it maybe 100 years ago it wanted to take, but was prohibited from taking. And I think that trying to get black people on board with this, I think it's going to be easier to do today than it was. Well, you know what? Let me correct myself. Wow, I had to think about that. Is it easier to do today than it was back then? I think back then they really wanted to improve their lives on a massive level across the country. Today, I got to correct myself. I think today we have a lot of people that want to correct it. They want to improve their lives.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's on so much of a wider level than it was back then.
Mhm.
I think we have a lot of African Americans today who are happy with what they're living today
Mhm.
and how they are living today.
Mhm.
I think you have a lot of African Americans today who are satisfied with where they are.
Mhm.
What say you?
I say you. This is my belief, right? And let me just say, this is my opinion.
Mhm.
I believe that we are indeed in a system
We are.
here in America,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And the system is like a trap, and it's some people are going to fall in that trap.
Yes.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Now, if you got rich people that would come together and they actually would stick together, like okay, now let me say this.
Mhm.
Dick Gregory, what's my man's name? Sam Cooke,
Okay.
the guy who shot the Bill, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. But Malcolm X, of course,
Mhm.
Muhammad Ali,
Mhm.
Sam Cooke, what's my man? Jimi Hendrix. All of these guys, right, believed that the black man was being taken advantage of.
Mhm.
And they all tried to use their platform to make a change.
Okay.
Now, a lot of them, I don't know about Dick Gregory, right? But I know he did stand up for Bill Russell, I think his name.
Bill Russell?
The basketball player I was trying to think of. Yeah. Harry Belafonte. Like a lot of these guys,
Harry
Ozzie
Belafonte
Newsome,
was an activist. That's for sure.
Ozzie Newsome and his wife, I can't think of her
Ruby
name
Dee.
right now.
Ruby Dee.
Ruby Dee, you're right. All of these people, they did fight for black people. They did.
They did.
You understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
did.
And they had money. And they
Sidney
did.
Poitier, one of them.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I'm saying, like, today, what black people do you see fighting for us? All I see is these cats on YouTube arguing with each other.
You kind of like saying what I'm
And
saying.
you all got a part. We all have a part.
No, we're on the same page.
You got to bring it together.
Yeah. So some
You
people
got to bring it together.
Some people are satisfied where they are, and to make sure that nobody passes them, I'm gonna throw this in there because you just brought this up. They're gonna tear the other brother down.
Yeah.
We gotta get away from that crab in the barrel mentality.
Yeah.
We haven't always
We
had
all
that.
got a part. Geno Jennings, I love you, man. I don't agree with you, but you're a brother. I love you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's up, man? Dr. Umar,
Umar Johnson,
Roland,
Umar Johnson.
all you guys, I love you all. I'm not against nobody, especially not if they black. But why we can't come together? I have not. Charleston White.
We
right?
need to.
We need to stop saying Cat Williams. We need to stop saying things.
Well, what's wrong with Cat Williams?
He says a lot of things against
Oh,
us.
you talking about
He says a
how
lot
he
of
dog
things
out
against the brother.
other comedians
50
and
Cent,
other actors and
50,
other.
why would you dog
entertainers.
this guy? Why y'all always talking about black people and y'all don't say nothing about white people ever?
Okay, let me say something.
And y'all
about
get
this.
pop, y'all get like 1 million views.
Look,
We get no views and we keeping it real.
I hear you. I hear
I'm
you.
sorry, I went off a little bit.
That's okay. You're passionate. You like Sean. You're passionate. I hear you. But here's what I'm gonna say. It's entertainment. Cat Williams is he the best spokesperson for Black America? Absolutely not. But he is a spokesperson in many regards. People do listen, and he listen. Number one, he does tell the truth about quite a few things. That's a fact.
They black.
That's a fact, bro.
Settle
That's
that
a
in the
fact.
house.
That's a fact.
Settle that in house. Don't settle it on no.
I can agree
radio.
with that. I can agree with that. Have a conversation with the person that you have an art with. As the word says, go to your brother. Tell him if you have an art with him, go to your brother and discuss it. I got you. But Cat Williams do tell the truth about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, but they all do. They all
keep
have
in
a piece
mind,
of it.
he's a comedian.
They all have a piece of it, but they all turn against each other.
And the things that he's talking about 9 times out of 10 is things that are immoral.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
I hear what
He's
you're
talking
saying.
about
I
the
don't-
immorality
Mhm.
of the people.
Mhm.
He's not necessarily talking about that they don't contribute anything positive to society.
Mhm.
And I hear that from quite a few people. Now, 50 Cent, when 50 Cent beefs, he beefs.
Mhm.
There's come on, we can't put that any other way. When he beefs, he beefs. The Black agenda is not about that. We can take that and throw that out the window because we don't want that.
Mhm.
We don't want to focus on that. But that's the stuff that the media focuses on.
Right.
That's the stuff that they take and they promote to the world.
The media is part of the system.
You see what I'm saying?
The media.
Well,
is part of
we're
the
in a system within a system within a system.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It all comes back to the
It's-
same thing.
It's a puzzle.
Mhm.
It's a puzzle box. It's a puzzle box. So we're never going to be able to completely open the box unless we put together the puzzle correctly. And we got to go piece by piece, section by section to get it done. And so the Black agenda is trying to move us in that direction. It hasn't really changed because it's all about freedom.
Mhm.
Today, it's about
money.
freedom.
I don't care what nobody said. Today it's about money. It's always been about money.
It's talking about freedom, but it's also talking about financial freedom as well,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Equality, financial freedom, equality. We're not talking about dominance. We're not talking about ruling over people and taking control. That's not the Black agenda. It's never
Mhm.
been the Black agenda. It's, what Garvey tried to do, I commend him for. What the
Mhm.
Pan-African National Movement was about, I commend.
Mhm.
What the Black Panther was about, I commend,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It's never been about the destruction of the other. It's about the success of the brother.
Mhm. That's what it's supposed to be now.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yes.
And even with the Crips and the Bloods when they started the gangs, you know about the history. You heard about the history about that, how they
Mhm.
started. It was never started as a rival thing.
Mhm.
That was never red versus blue.
Mhm.
That was never a I'm gonna kill you. You on my turf.
I actually heard that the police started the war between the two, people.
Set them up.
Yeah, yeah. That happens in Chicago with the Vice Lords and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want that. The system that we live in,
Mhm.
they want that.
One group to kill the other group.
Yes, they want that because do you know how much money crime crime makes? Do you know how many people will
crime
be
is
out,
big money.
if they stop crime today, right now? Do you know how many people will be out of a job?
Yeah.
You got judges that we wouldn't need you anymore. You got police. We wouldn't
We
need
still
you
need
anymore.
judges. You still need police.
No, but I'm saying not criminal.
No,
court. I'm just talking about crime.
Right.
I'm not talking about you sue somebody civilly and stuff like that.
You reduce the number greatly, but
I'm talking about crime. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? There'll be, you know how
there's a lot of
money in crime.
There's a lot of careers that would not exist.
Right.
Or
right. They don't want to stop it, but they want you to be in the prisons because you black. Or they don't want them to be in the prisons.
They'll be seriously reduced in number.
Yeah, come on, man.
We won't need as many cops. We won't need as many lawyers.
Right.
We won't need as many judges. I get you. And they do want different.
It all trickles down because then you got the guy who works in the prison. You know. I mean, you got a lot of jobs that would come from that. They don't want to stop this. They don't want to, and they definitely don't want to stop drugs.
Right. That's big money.
Right.
So war is big money, but there's nothing that's bigger in money than war.
Mm-hmm.
War is the biggest money maker in the history of the world.
Yes, that's a fact.
So
if people got rich for putting money up for
to fund wars.
Thank you, to fund wars. People got rich doing that. Yeah. They still rich today off of that. So yes, war is big money.
And if you don't believe what we're saying about war being big money, check the American records, today's administration, and see how many planes, fighter jets, guns, ammunition, things like that, tanks have been sold to foreign nations since Trump took office. And you can go even before Trump took office because every president is guilty of this. Every president is guilty of this.
What they do?
Sell American munitions to other countries.
Oh, come on.
Every president is guilty of it.
Somebody's selling it to them black people down there in all them all those country towns.
Yeah.
How you getting weapons in them poor country towns?
Look,
tell me, why is it a kid could buy a pistol right now and might not even be able to buy a pack of cigarettes?
See, now that's the question.
But they can get a pistol.
That's the question that I think the Black agenda needs to put on the political docket. Because one of the things that Biden did try to do when he tried to pass this bill, he tried to put a bill together that reduced the ownership for assault rifles. He tried to put a bill together to reduce that. The NRA fought him on that.
Oh yeah.
And the Republicans at the time came in and they gutted that bill he had. So two of the provisions of that bill was that he was going to put in the areas where they had high sales of guns, which was predominantly Black American communities. He's going to put school programs in there, after school programs in there, and build community centers where they would be able to go and hang out freely, right? So they wouldn't need to be involved with guns and gangs. And the Republican Party gutted that.
Of course.
Gutted it because they made it about
too much money.
You want to put these limits on who can own a gun, and you want to put these restrictions on how they can get a gun. That's what they said it was about, but it really wasn't about that. It was about not allowing crime to flourish in Black communities. That's what it was about. That's what that whole bill was about. So instead, what they do is they said, well, Biden passed a bill in the 1990s that sent more Black people to prison than anybody else, any other, right? I said, yeah, he did that. He owned up to that, though. But when he revealed the actual entire bill that he put forth, bro, huge difference. And when he got to be the president, and he came in office and he put another bill together and they killed that bill. Let me tell you something. Guns, you talked about that, is a money-making merchandise.
Business. Yeah.
It is big
because
business.
I mean, where's a poor kid? We're talking about impoverished. We're talking about poor people, poor neighborhoods, right? He's speaking teenagers, like young teenagers, not even like 21, 12. I'm talking about young teenagers, 13, 14, 15. Man, they got freaking Uzis and stuff. And they poor.
I think the Black agenda
Well, you can't
incorporates that politically, incorporates that on the docket. I really do. I think if they don't, then they need to put that up there. But you don't disagree with people being background checked, right, to own a gun.
No, I disagree with that. Some people shouldn't probably have a gun.
And I think they should be
most people
psychologically.
with guns probably don't really need guns.
They should be psychologically evaluated. I think
I evaluated myself, and that's why I don't have a gun.
Everybody is not right in the mind to own a gun.
Right.
And you can tell that. You don't need a psychiatrist to come in and tell you whether or not you should have a gun or not.
Yeah.
You should be able to tell that for yourself, like you just said. You should be able to tell that for yourself. The Black agenda, we're still making history today because you're seeing more African Americans running for office, and not just big government, but local government as well. You're seeing more African Americans going into fields of study, and we're becoming engineers, doctors, lawyers. You're seeing more judges, right? You're seeing more police officers. And this is something that we've been calling for a long time, so that we're still making history. I mean, we're still. This is the thing that shocks me in America today, in 2026, right now, 2026. I want to say 2025 that this happened in 2026. We're still making firsts. You're getting the first black this, the first black that. You're seeing that still today. So we're still making history.
Sure.
First black police chief, first black. It's not happening in just one area that makes it a first.
Do you realize there's never been a black governor in New Jersey?
I do realize that.
That sucks.
But that's coming.
We need a black governor.
That's coming.
Maybe the guy from Plainfield. He's pretty good.
That's coming. So I think
the brother from Roselle, maybe
we can continue to make this progress. And again, as we had that conversation to start off this conversation, I don't think we got to exclude people from Nigeria or Ghana or Trinidad or the West Indies, wherever they're from, Jamaica, Haiti. We don't have to exclude them in our cultural struggle. I could be wrong for saying that, because as an African American, a lot of people want to keep it exclusive. I get them. I understand it. I feel like this: we can include them as long as they don't try to dog us out, talk negative about us.
Right.
In other words, drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Give us respect that we deserve. That's
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that you have what you have in this country because of us.
Right.
And you fine with me. I'm cool with you. But if you're going to try to act like you better than me, and you're going to try to dog me out and say that we ain't this and we ain't that because of what the media projects to you.
Right.
And you're not really getting the gauge going around the country to see what we're really doing. You're not really getting involved with the Black agenda. And the longer that you stay in this country, you're going to become part of that. Yeah, I can't accept you.
But see, that's what we're talking about, though. When we say, racism, it's not a real thing. It's not a real thing. It's a real thing in people's minds.
Right.
That's all where racism is. Right. Racism is in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? And it goes through, listen, it could be one country don't like another country. You understand what I'm saying? But I do understand when we talk about race, it's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of hard for all of us to get together because, like you said, they all think that they shouldn't think they're better than us.
They shouldn't.
No, not at all.
Not when you consider
they should respect us a lot.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And racism, we have to understand, racism is a construct created from a concept that is specifically designed to get you away from falling into understanding classism. Think about that. If you're a white American and somebody's Black American and you're both in the same social class as far as economic class, right? What's the difference? There's no difference.
Skin color.
There's no difference.
Skin color. Yes, you're right.
Your dollar's going to spend the same way.
Right.
Your dollar's going to spend. We're talking about money now. Your dollar's going to spend the same way.
Yeah.
You may not utilize your finances the same. but it's going to spend the same way. You get what I'm
Mhm,
saying? No matter what you're buying, you might not buy the same exact thing, but it's going to spend the same way. In other words, that dollar that you spend buying your Jordans, right?
I ain't never had a pair of Jordans in my life.
Somebody that's white will spend buying, I don't know, some Vans. You get what I'm saying? But it's still the same thing. You follow me?
But what I really don't understand is like why are we so like name brand oriented? You know, we got to have the Jordans, the Nike, the Louis Vuitton. I don't even like a lot of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? To me, it doesn't look nice. I would never, if I was able to get rich, I wouldn't just run out and buy me some Gucci and Louis and all that kind of stuff. See, I think I would keep it. I would keep it in the bank. Why should I give all my money back?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You make the money, you give it back to them. That's stupid.
We got a lot of young Black American designers now coming.
I wish I knew more.
I take my hat off to them for stepping out and they're doing some fantastic things in the fashion industry.
That's good.
And they're trying to bring it to our own communities. And they're reaching across the aisle and they're making sure that not just Black Americans, but white Americans as well have access to these fashions that they're designing. Now, the question is going to come down to, will the rest of the communities support them? Because fashion is fashion, right? Like you just said. And these are opportunities to offset the name brand searches. I mean, Nike is a powerful brand today, but who made it powerful?
I know we buy a lot of Nikes. I can say that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Nikes would be nothing.
I think we're the main purchasers.
We're the main purchaser of mostly everything that is popular in America, fashion-wise.
And so it'd be kind of stupid for them to try to actually get rid of us.
Especially when it comes to hats. Hats today, nobody would have thought that hats would become a collector's item. Who made that possible? We did.
You got me mixed up on that one. What are you talking about?
Hats is now
like what? Like baseball caps?
Baseball caps, fedoras.
Oh yeah,
all of that.
Oh, we always did that.
We made that. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know because our contribution used to rock stuff like that too. So I don't know where that one came from. But anyway, we do that. And,
right?
Yes, I love a nice hat. That's
our contributions to American culture, as far as dress, music especially.
Well, although they take it and then make it perverted,
there's no dispute.
Put it out there, you know,
brother. You're right. There's no disputing that now. No, I don't think anybody listening can dispute that. I don't think he can argue with anything we're saying. The problem is how it's projected and portrayed and promoted from the media's perspective onto the rest of the world. And that's where we come in. We got to say, hey, Black Agenda, let's stop giving them firepower. Let's stop giving them ammo. Let's get back behind closed doors, settle our differences, right? Work this thing through and promote a unified front and move forward in unity collectively. That's what we got to start working on. And I think that's what's at the heart of the Black Agenda. Keep in mind, this is not a us against them thing. This is a let's get ourselves together. Let's get ourselves together while we're working with them. That's what it's about. And
that's what Malcolm said something very similar to what you just said.
I think that's the godly thing to do because we want America to prosper, because most people in America has never been outside of America their entire life. That's fact.
Me, yeah, I never left the country. Yeah, that's a fact.
So we want our nation to be one of the top destinations of all the world. And the only way you're going to do that, man, if they say if America's a land of opportunity, it's got to be a land of opportunity for everybody. Especially those who are the OGs of struggle. And that definitely would be us.
Right.
Give you the last word. What you got? Anything.
You give me a minute to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't know. All I can say is we have a chance. We still have a chance. We might as well come together now. You know what I'm saying? With all the YouTube and the Facebook and all that good stuff. We can use that to actually come together and not actually separate ourselves even more, because that's what it seemed like. Whenever I look at this YouTube or Facebook and stuff like that, a lot of times it's a lot of people saying really crazy things about our own people. You know what I'm saying? And when somebody do stand up and like want to say something to the other man, you know what I'm saying? Either they're called anti-Semitic or, you know what I'm saying, they were rambling or rampage, he wanted rampage. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which the fact is that, I think, we should stand up for ourselves, and we should respect ourselves and love ourselves, because if we can't love ourselves and respect ourselves, then nobody's going to respect us and nobody's going to love us. You know what I'm saying? So it all starts with us. We have to look in the mirror and say, listen, I can't change the world, but I can change this guy in the mirror. You understand what I'm saying? Right, and you be that. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have the right to do whatever's in your mind to do. So you might as well do right.
Do right. Like my spiritual father says, it's hard to do wrong when you got to do right mind.
Right.
So real quick, I'm gonna ask you this, because that was a very good statement. I like that. On the YouTube issue, what steps would you take to bring the people that you see beefing on YouTube together? What steps would you take?
See, how would you go about doing it? Well, I could do one thing. I wouldn't support that type of, that type of action, because if I see somebody said something about somebody, a lot of times I won't even click on it, man, because I don't want to hear brother bringing down another brother. Right. I feel like it's, it's ridiculous to me at this point.
You do know that we beat up Donald Trump just about every week on this show.
Donald Trump is not black, so what? We're telling the truth about Donald Trump. We ain't lying.
On that note, man, listen, we thank you for tuning in today.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
We thank you for tuning in today. For Matt, my man Rob,
the little lion.
We really enjoy, your participation. And for those of you who drop the lines and reach out to me, because some of you got my number, we're going to get a number for the show. We're working on it.
Okay.
Getting a number where people can call in. So we said that before. We've been working on it for a minute. But again, if you like the content and you got ideas for us and you want to share with us, please subscribe. Help us to get to the next level. We trying to get and build an audience. So become part of the audience.
Please.
Appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. So again, for my brother Matt, for my brother Rob, Little Lion, I'm Ronald.
Matt was supposed to have a microphone. We wiggled his way out of that. Next time, Sean ain't here. We got you.
All right, y'all.